Hello students, welcome back to my channel. In the last class, we have discussed about composition of functions and invertible function. First we shall recall them and then go to theorem. Composition of functions. Two functions f from a to b, g from b to c. F and g are two functions. The composition of f and g denoted by GOF from f domain set A to g codomain set C, A to C. It is also a function defined by GOF of x. This is equal to g of f of x for all x belongs to your domain set A. Here x belongs to domain set A. This total, this belongs to g of f of x belongs to range of GOF. Next, invertible function means a function f from a to b is said to be invertible if there exists a function g from b to a such that GOF equal to identity function, a subscript f domain set A, and FOG equal to identity function g domain set B. Then we say that here G is called inverse of f. G is called inverse of f. Substitute here G equal to f inverse OF equal to IA, and FO here G equal to f inverse equal to IB. So mind it here, identity function and the respective domain means f domain is what? Set A, I subscript A, and FO f inverse here equal to IB. F inverse means here G function, this is f inverse, this is f inverse domain B here, I subscript B. This is invertible function. When we say that function is invertible means if function is both 1 1 and non 2, then function is invertible. If it is invertible means its inverse exists, f inverse exists. Now we go to theorem, important one, important for 2 marks. If f from a to b and g from b to c are 1 1, then GOF from a to c is also 1 1. Here f and g are 1 1 function. Question asked like this, then show that GOF composition function is also 1 1 function. We know that 1 1 function definition. Here suppose f is 1 1 means we know that f of x1 equal to f of x2. Two ranges are equal, f domain x1, here f domain x2. Their domains are equal, x1 equal to x2. Here given that g is 1 1, suppose if we take g of y1 equal to g of y2, two ranges are equal, here g domain y1, here g domain y2. Their domains are equal, here y1 equal to y2. Correct. Here prove that GOF is 1 1 means here. So consider GOF here domain element x1, GOF here domain element x2. It is a function, a range. Two ranges are equal. This function domain x1, here domain element x2. Prove that their domains are equal means here we have to prove that x1 equal to x2. That's it. We know that how to define composite function. GOF of x can be defined as g of f of x. G remove of f of x. So like that, GOF of x1 defined as g of f of x1. Similar on right side, defined as g of f of x2. Correct. So here given that g is 1 1, f is 1 1. So G is one simple here. G function range, G function. Two G function ranges are equal. Range of G are equal. Here G domain, this is f of x1. This is right side G domain element here f of x2. Next step, here G is 1 means here domains are equal. F of x1 equal to f of x2. So next step, given that f is 1 f is 1 means here f ranges are equal here. Here f domain element x1, f domain element x2, domains are equal. X1 equal to x2. This is GOF of x1 is equal to GOF of x2, implies that x1 equal to x2. Hence we say that this composite function GOF is 1. That's it. Enough important for 2 marks Monday. Let us take GOF of x1 is equal to GOF of x2. Here domain x1, here domain element x2. Here we have to prove that x1 equal to x2. Here this can be defined as G of f of x1 is equal to here G of f of x2. Here given that G is 1 mention like this. G is 1 means here G domain element f of x1, G domain element f of x2. G is 1 means their domains are equal. F of x1 is equal to f of x2. Next, f is 1. Next step here. Here f domain element x1, here f domain element x2. Here f is 1 means your domains are equal. X1 is equal to x2. X1 equal to x2. Yes, GOF is 1. Important for 2 marks. So next, theorem 2. If f from A to B and G from B to C are onto means onto functions, then GOF from A to C is also onto. This is also important for 2 marks. If f from A to B and G from B to C are onto functions, then here we have to prove that composite of G and F and G, GOF from A to C is also onto function. Onto function, we know that go to codomain. Every element of the codomain there exists its pre-image element in domain such that f of x equal to y, then function is onto here. Here f from A to B, here see f from A to B. Here given that both functions are onto function. I am taking an arbitrary element like this. Here x in set A, here x belongs to set A one element. Here one element y belongs to set B. Here y belongs to set B. Here z belongs to set C. First I am defining G definition writing. First I am writing f and G onto definitions. Definition means for every element in the codomain there exists a pre-image element in domain. Then function is onto like that. Since here G is onto. G is onto means a definition I am taking here. Z belongs to here. See here codomain of G here. Codomain, this is domain. I am taking codomain in codomain. See here. For every Z belongs to C here. Small z belongs to set C. Set C means codomain. There exists an element means pre-image element. There exists an element y in B domain such that G defining and G of your domain element y equal to your codomain element means range element z. Next, defined here, given that f is onto, since f is onto f from A to B, x belongs to set A, y belongs to set B. And means we have to go for codomain. Take for every y belongs to B codomain. For every y belongs to be codomain, there exists an element x in A. X in A domain such that f of x equal to y. F of x equal to y means here f is onto. Next, prove that GOF is also onto means, therefore here I am taking here GOF, its domain element I am taking here x. You know that it is defined as G of f of x. G of, substitute f of x value y. Next, here we have G of y value z. GOF of x equal to z means here for every element of codomain here, this codomain C here, z belongs to C codomain, there exists a pre-image element x in here such that GOF of x equal to z. This means hence here GOF is onto. So statement you ask means no need to write. Already we have mentioned here where z belongs to. Z belongs to C codomain. Here where here x belongs to. X belongs to area like that. Again no need to write a statement. So here given that f and g are onto functions, mind it. First if you take g is onto means definition you write here. I am taking arbitrary element here codomain z here, domain y. For every z belongs to C codomain, there exists an element, pre-image element y belongs to B here, y in B domain, such that G of here domain element here y equal to range element here z, G of y equal to z. Next, since f is onto and f function, take arbitrary element in codomain y, arbitrary element domain x you take. For every y belongs to B codomain, there exists an element means pre-image element x in A domain such that f of a domain element x, f of x equal to codomain element y. Therefore take care GOF of x, when GOF of x it is defined as G of f of x. Substitute f of x value y here, then G of y equal to z. Really GOF of x equal to z means for every this means for every z belongs to C codomain, there exists pre-image element x in a domain such that GOF of x equal to z. This means hence GOF is onto. Got it? Is important. Is both theorems 1 and 2 important for 2 marks. Next I am going to third theorem. Theorem 3. If f from x to y, g from y to z and h from z to s are three functions, then HO of GOF, this is equal to HOG of OF. This condition is very important here. Just like of associative property. Here f, g, h are three functions. We have to prove that HO of GOF, this is equal to HOG of OF. See, in both cases here we can observe that HGF in order here. HGF in order, very important. Left side first test, next GF. Right side also HGF. Got it. First I am taking LHS here. HO of GOF. Here I am taking domain element here. Here see, composite function means here function here. How to write domain range element means F domain here. This domain of this composite function equal to domain of F here. X one arbitrary element X I am taking here. Arbitrary element X. This is equal to, we know that composite function defined as GOF of X can be defined as G of F of X. G of F of X. So first here, consider this is H. This is one function here, some function here. Suppose P like this. Defined as, remove here O, take bracket. GOF of X equal to G of, remove O, F of X. First I am removing O here. H O P means this is P is total function of X like this. Yes. H of like this. Remove what? Either you can take square bracket or ordinary bracket. H of GOF of X here. P as it is. P means GOF. GOF of X. Next. H of again. This can be defined as G of here. G remove of F of X. Called as equation 1. Next RHS. HOG of OF. Here domain element I am taking X. So defined as I am removing O here. Consider this is one function here. One function. I am taking this function as it is. HOG as it is. Remove O, take bracket of F of X. Simple. Again here. Here remove O, take bracket here. H of G of F of X. Called as equation 2. Correct. From equations 1 and 2, what about here? H of G of F of X, H of G of F of X, both are equal, means clearly here LHS equal to RHS. From equations 1 and 2, both are equal. HO of GOF of X equal to HOG of 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 X. If you remove domain element on both sides, then we can write HO of GOF, this is equal to HOG of OF. Enough. Directly we can write like this. Got it? LHS HO of GOF, take domain element X. Defined as here, just here, remove O. H of remove O, take bracket, either square bracket or under bracket of GOF of X. Next, H of, here remove O, G of F of X, G of F of X, called as equation 1. Next, RHS, this is HOG, OF, let's take our domain element X. HOG as it is, remove O of F of X. So next, here remove O, H of G of F of X. From 1 and 2, LHS equal to RHS. Mind it, if you take three functions in order, H, G, F, H, G, F in order, you take bracket anywhere, then the value remains same, doesn't changes. Suppose like this, HOG, suppose like this, then clearly LHS equal to RHS. Important concept. So now I'm going to fourth theorem. If f from x to y and g from y to z are two invertible functions, then GOF from x to z is also invertible with GOF whole inverse equal to F inverse over G inverse. So mind it, f from x to y and g from y to z are two invertible functions. Both are invertible functions, means clearly both functions are 1, 1 and 2. They both are different. Then GOF composite function is also invertible with GOF whole inverse equal to F inverse over G inverse. So we know the definition. GOF equal to identity function A subscript A and FOG equal to identity function subscript B. Subscript B. Then we say that G is called inverse of F. Got it? So here instead of small letters here, I am taking capital letters here. GOF equal to identity function on A and FOG equal to identity function on B. Then G is called F inverse. If you take this, observe here, inverse here, F inverse, whole inverse, this function here, GOF whole inverse equal to here F inverse or G inverse. This means here G equal to F inverse or G inverse. Got it? Here F only base, not inverse. F equal to GOF. G equal to total, this is F inverse or G inverse. Here F equal to GOF here. F equal to GOF. Means here prove that here F is invertible, means here we have to prove that G equal to means F inverse, means similarly we have to prove that this is GOF equal to identity function, FOG equal to identity function. Here we have to prove that this is GOF whole inverse equal to this, means similarly here we have to prove that. What we have to prove? Very important one here. Just here substitute G and F value I am substituting here. You can understand here. G value, this is here G value, F inverse or G inverse, or F value, this is F value GOF equal identity function, here F domain here right. Similarly here F value GOF or G value F inverse or G inverse, identity function G inverse domain here right. Got it? Composite of this function and this function equal to identity function. Composite of this and this equal to identity means, then we say that here see F inverse or G inverse is called the inverse of GOF. This means GOF is invertible. GOF is invertible. Means here we have to prove that these two cases. Then GOF is invertible. Remember that invertible function definition. This is GOF equal to identity function, FOG equal to identity function. Then G is called inverse of F. Then we say that F is invertible. Means here we take G equal to F inverse or G inverse here. F equal to GOF. Got it? Here we have to prove this. Similarly, we have to prove that F inverse or G inverse of here or of GOF equal to identity function F domain, here F domain X, and GOF O of F inverse or G inverse equal to I. G inverse domain is subscript place, must write. Here G domain here. Y to Z. Correct. G inverse means Z to Y. What is the domain of G inverse Z? Here I subscript Z. First one I am taking this. I am going to put first one. Take LHS F inverse O G inverse O of G O F. So one thing according to last theorem, one thing mind it. HO of GOH, this can be written as HOG of OH like this. HO of GOH here. I am considering this is H. O of GOF here. Can be written as like this. Don't remove O here. Don't get confusion. If you take domain element like this, if you take domain element GOF of X means, then it can be written as remove O of F like this. But if you don't have domain element, I am not taking domain element means according to last theorem, directly you can write like this. Don't remove O here. If you take domain element means while defining, that can be defined or written as like this. But here HO of GOH, see HOG of OH. Here O not removed here. One thing mind it. I am not taking a domain element X like that. Directly I am writing like that according to last theorem. Consider this is H O G O F. This can be written as HOG like this. HOG of OF like. What is H? H value this is F inverse or G inverse. H value F inverse or G inverse. This is H O G of OF. Either you can take honor bracket or square bracket. This is H HOG of OF. Here HO of GOF. This is equal to HOG of OF. Again within square bracket here, again I am applying this condition here. Here I see F inverse O G inverse OG like that. Here I am taking here F inverse O, here I am taking bracket according to last theorem. F inverse O of G inverse OG. This as it is. So here given that G is invertible means mind it, this inverse function exists, then GO G inverse equal to identity function and G inverse OG equal to identity function. Here domain while mentioning, here subscript, be careful. G domain here. What is the domain of G? Y here. I subscript Y. And here G inverse domain. G domain Y means G inverse domain Z. Z. Here F inverse O, G inverse OG. G inverse OG equal to I, G domain Y. I subscript Y. This value, the OF as it is. G inverse OG equal to identity function, G domain Y. Next, F inverse OI Y. See, the composition of identity function and any function equal to function itself. The composition of a function and identity function is equal to a function itself. F inverse Y equal to F inverse. Here F inverse Y value F inverse. This is here OF. Here given that F is invertible means clearly F inverse YF equal to identity function. Identity function. Here this is F domain. F domain. IX this is LHS equal to RHS IX called as equation 1. Next, now take second one. GOF of O of F inverse O G inverse. Again, according to last theorem, theorem 3, this can be written as, I am considering this is H, this is GOF like. H here I am taking as it is. GOF taking as it is. OF inverse. OF inverse and bracket here. OF inverse of OG inverse. Are following here. HOG like this. HOG. H here. This is H. O. G means here. F inverse. Of OF. F equal to here, G inverse. Got it. Again, within bracket by last theorem, according to last theorem, within bracket here, this can be defined as GO of FOF inverse like this. OG inverse as it is. GO, the composition of any function and its inverse function equal to identity function. FOF inverse identity function. Here, what is the domain of F inverse? F domain X means F inverse domain clearly Y. I subscript OG inverse. Next, GOI. Y means the composition of any function with identity function equal to function itself. GOI. I means identity function means this is equal to G. Right. This value G. OG inverse. The composition of any function with its inverse function equal to what? Identity function. Here G inverse domain. G domain Y. G inverse domain is Z. I subscript Z called as equation 2. From equations 1 and 2, say that I explained that before starting this problem. I explained how it is invertible. From 1 and 2, from equations 1 and 2, clearly GOF is invertible. GOF is invertible. Next step you write. Therefore, here this F inverse or G inverse is called the F inverse or G inverse is called the inverse of GOF. Therefore, F inverse or G inverse, this is called the inverse of this is GOF or inverse. Hence it is true. So I am repeating this, don't get confusion. Simple here. Prove that your GOF is invertible. Your GOF all inverse equal to F inverse or G inverse means here we have to prove that here F inverse or G inverse O of only base here GOF. GOF equal to identity function means then G is called inverse of F like that. G is called inverse of F. Don't take inverse here. GF here. GOF like that. Don't take this inverse. F inverse or G inverse of O GOF equal to identity function F domain X. And reverse this is GOF of O F inverse O G inverse equal to identity function G inverse domain. G domain Y, G inverse domain Z in subscript place. Be careful while mentioning subscript identity function and the respective domain. First one here, F inverse or G inverse of O of GOF, prove that their RHS value I, identity function. According to last theorem, mind it, this can be written as here. This is considered, this is H. F inverse or G inverse here, this is H. OG, take bracket, that's it. Bracket, here bracket, OF as it is, according to last theorem. Simple logic. Again, according to last theorem, within square bracket, F inverse O, take bracket for these two functions, G inverse OG. Next, clearly, the composition of any function with its inverse function, identity function, one thing mind it. Clearly, G inverse OG equal to identity function, G domain here Y. I subscript place very important, Y, IY. This value IY, here OF as it is. Next, F inverse O IY. the composition of any function with identity function equal to function itself. F inverse O I equal to F inverse. Here F inverse O I equal to F inverse O F. So clearly F is invertible means clearly F inverse O F equal to identity function. Here F domain X. Called as equation 1. Next, second one here, LHS. GOF of O F inverse O G inverse. Similar to last one case, like as it is, GOF here, as it is, GOF, this GOF, OF inverse, here take bracket here. Square bracket or under bracket of OG inverse. Got it? GOF of OF inverse, GOF of OF inverse of OG inverse. According to last theorem, don't remove O. Again within bracket, according to last theorem, GO of FOF inverse, So here clearly F is invertible means clearly FOF inverse equal to identity function. What is the domain of F inverse? F domain X means the domain of F inverse is Y. I subscript Y. FOF inverse I subscript Y. Next, GOI means here the composition of any function with identity function equal to function itself. G. GOI equal to G. This is G. OG inverse. Clearly, the composition of any function with its inverse function. Clearly, identity function. A G inverse domain, not G domain. It is a composite function means it is a composite function defined from domain of G inverse to codomain of G. Got it? We know that G inverse domain, G domain Y means G inverse domain Z. First one here we have proved, second one proved. From equations 1 and 2 according to definition, clearly GOF is invertible. GOF is invertible means its inverse exists. Therefore here F inverse for G inverse. This is called inverse of GOF. GOF equal to identity function means if G is called inverse of F, you know that to write. Here G, this is GOF equal to your identity function means this function F inverse or G inverse, this function here written. Here, F inverse or G inverse is called the inverse of GOF. F inverse or G inverse is called the inverse of GOF. Hence it is proved. First two theorems are very important, 1 and 2 theorems, and conditions very important. Got it? We shall see next class.